So in this today's lecture of technology development and transfer, in our next lecture, we will discuss about the quality control, analytical method transfer, premises and equipments, documentation, qualification and validation. All these are the again the important points when we consider about the technology transfer. So when we talk about the technology transfer, this is already a transfer from that SU to RU. So in this quality control, analytical method transfer, when we discuss about this transfer of analytical methods, when we talk about this analytical method, it is related to our APIs, it is related to our excipients. So there may be the developed method, or there may be some developed methods are there that to be run smoothly in the RU, and all these methods are transferred by the SU. So the transfer of analytical methods should accommodate all the analytical testing required to demonstrate compliance of the product to be transferred with the registered specification. So the analytical method used to test pharmaceutical products, starting material, packaging, components, cleaning, some cleaning residues are there, some swab tests are to be performed. Then we have to go for the detection of that APIs or some excipient. If we see that they are going to be contaminated, so we have to do this cleaning test also. If applicable, should be implemented to the testing laboratory before testing of samples for the process validation study is performed by the RU. And then this process validation samples may be tested at RU, the SU or the third party. Anyone will test it. So the protocol that defining the steps should be prepared. We have to prepare the protocol, and protocol contains the test. So it should include that protocol should include like objective, scope, responsibilities of the SU and the RU. Then next, that protocol should include the specification of materials and methods. Then the experimental design and acceptance criteria. Next one is the documentation. Documentation includes some results, reports, uh, uh, in the some previously reports they are having some standards and what they got. All these are the documents. Then the procedure for the handling of the deviation. Some deviations are there. Then how we can clear that deviation, or what will be the acceptance criteria. Some references for it. Then some sign approval are there. Person has to sign, then only there will be the approval of that particular analytical method. And details of references sample, details of reference sample. So reference sample means what? They have some standard sample. We call it as the reference sample, like the starting material, intermediates, and finished products. We have to cover all the starting materials samples for all these materials. Then the next is the what will be the that SU's responsibility. That is the receiving unit's responsibility. Its unit responsibility is to provide method specific training for the analysis and other quality control staff if it is required. Means training to the staff if it is required. Then assist in analysis of QC testing results. Then define all methods to be transferred for testing a given product, starting material or cleaning samples. Then the next responsibility is to define experimental design, some sample methods and acceptance criteria. Then provide the validation reports for methods under transfer and demonstrate that robustness. Then provide details of the equipment use as necessary. That is, there may be, it is a part of validation reports. Means we have to, if we are using some equipment, we have to again validate that equipment. And any standard reference sample, means we have to provide here details of equipment, some samples. Then provide approved procedures using the testing. Then the review and approve of transport reports. These are some responsibilities of the SU. SU has to perform all these responsibility. Then what will be the responsibilities of the RU units? RU unit is to review analytical methods provided by the SU. SU provides some methods, they have to review it. Then they have to formally agree on the acceptance criteria, means whether it will be possible to perform at SU sites. There may be some internal standards are required, so these are available or not. All these are. Then execution of transfer protocol. This is the first responsibility of the RU. Then that RU ensures that the necessary equipment for the QC is available. QC means for the quality control, say HPLC, so it is available, or GC or HPTLC. May also there's some analytical balance having the accuracy of 0.001 likewise. And analytical transfer should meet appropriate specifications to ensure the requirements of the method or specification are met. Then the next is they ensure the adequately trained and experienced personnel are in the place for analytical testing. Persons, adequate number of person with experience should be there or not, they have to ensure. They have to, again, the next is to, they have to provide the documentation system, which may be having that recording capability of receipts, recording capability of some generation of receipts of transfer of samples, required specification using approved test method, and of reporting, recording and collecting data, and designation of status may be approved, rejected or quarantine. Okay, then they have to execute the transfer protocol. Then they have to perform the appropriate level of validation for to support the implementation of the methods. Means whenever their method is to be, they have to carry it out. They have to do that method in minimum 3 to 4 times. Here we can say that the robust analysis and the result for each time should be same. So it is called as the validated. Then the next one is to generate and obtain approval of transport report. The report which maybe they receive from the that SU, they have to approve it. They have to generate it and they have to approve it. So next is to provide the appropriate training and documentation of the outcome. This is the next thing they have to do. Then there is the next is to reference to the compendial monograph. They have to, whichever is available, means they have to give the reference of industrial international pharmacopoeia, British or US or European pharmacopoeia. Reference in sense as what, where from where they carried out that test, or where that test is official. If it is international, then they have to write that international. If it is an US, then you have to United States pharmacopoeia, and they have to write there. Then next is the possible external designs and acceptance criteria. uh, they have to mention there, and some tests are to be mentioned. Say when the test of the identities, they say that the test of identity is carried out, then what they consider during the transfer should focus on the sample preparation. When there is the identity, how they prepare the sample, so that's why they are easy for preparation of identity. Then data interpretation, then acceptance to include in assay transfer where relevant. Then in that replication test, what they have to do, one determination usually sufficient to give
कोणता पडके फाक मारला
equivalence.
तवा पडके छोड़ दे एक साल कर दिया करेगा हां
Then the next is the premises and equipments. When we talk about the premises and equipment, in that premises, the SU should provide information to the RU over the some layout, then the construction and the finish of building services. There may be the HVAC system, then what will be the temperature, what will be the relative humidity, water, power, then the compressed air, which have an impact on the product, process or the method to be transferred. So all these information should be provided to the RU. Which types of instruction? Building construction. then services in that building, then HVAC system, then the temperature within that building, humidity within that building, water content, powder, power supply, compressed air, all this information. Then this SU should provide information on relevant health, safety, and environmental issues. Some issues are inherent risk of manufacturing process, that is the reactive chemical hazards, some exposure limit if they are having some UV lights, then fire and explosion risk if they are using some hazardous chemicals. So likewise, inherent risk of manufacturing process means during manufacturing process, what risk can arise, they have to list it. Then the health and safety requirements they have to provide so to minimize the operator exposure. For example, atmospheric contamination of pharmaceutical dust. They have to provide the safety requirement. Then the emergency planning consideration. For example, in case of gas or dust release, or some spoilage, or in case of fire, or in case of fire water runoff, if there is fire water is stop working. So they have to provide the they have to provide the emergency they have to provide the emergency planning for all these things. Then identification of waste stream and provisions for reuse, recycling, and disposal. They have to provide the information for. So that's why the safety related to the health and the environment can be assured. Then this is related to the premises. Yes, that is the requirement of premises when we go for the that quality analysis. Then the what will be the equipment requirements. The SU should provide a list of equipments which are required, then its make, its model, which are involved in the manufacturing process or filling process or control of products, then process or method to be transfer, then together with existing qualification and validation document and some relevant documents, they include maybe the drawings of that equipment, manual for that equipment, then maintenance logs for that particular equipment, calibration logs are there, procedures, for example, equipment setup or operation or cleaning, maintenance, calibration, and storage related to that particular equipments. Then the RU should review the information provided by the SU together with its own inventory list, including the qualification status, that is the IQ, OQ, PQ of all equipment and systems, and perform a side-by-side comparison of equipment at the two sites in terms of their functionality, makes, model, and qualification status. Then the RU should perform a gap analysis. They have to perform a gap analysis for what? To identify the requirements for adoption of existing equipment or acquisition of new equipment if they are purchasing the new equipment, or a change in the process if there is some process change, or to enable the RU to reproduce the process being transferred. GMP requirements should be satisfied and intended production volume and batch sizes, like same is there or scale up is required or some campaigning is required, it should be considered. Then some factors we have to compare is the minimum and maximum capacity for that particular equipment, then materials of construction, maybe SAS or other standard materials are required. Then critical operating parameters they have to consider. Then critical equipment components like the filters, screens, temperature, pressure sensor, all these related to equipment, they have to check related to that. Then critical quality attributes. Then the range of intended use. Their intended use means uh, for which purpose they are using, and for that, for say for detection of the UV light or UV absorbance. So what will be the range of our light? Likewise, they have to provide. Then the consideration, when we consider that the facility and building specific location of all equipment at the RU should be considered at the time of drawing of process maps or flow charts of the manufacturing process to be transferred, including flow of personnel and materials. So after consideration of the building facility, the impact of manufacturing of new products, when we go for the new product manufacturing on the currently manufactured product, that has to be determined. Means when we are using the same equipment, so what will be the impact of new products over that previous product, that we have to determine. Then any modification of the existing equipment that needs to be adapted to become capable of reproducing the process, means we have to get the same result. It is called as the reproducing. Being transferred should be documented. They have to document in the transfer project plan. They have to produce a transfer project plan. Then they have to they have to write up all these modification made in the existing equipment. So that's why there is the reproducibility of the process, and you have to document all the things. Then next is the documentation part. After that analytical method and equipment, we have to go with the documentation part. Then when we start about the documentation, the documented evidence required for the transfer project itself is a wide ranging. Examples of documentation, say like project definition, quality agreement, facility agreement, health and safety agreement. We will discuss it later on. So all these documentations are required. So the documented evidence that the transfer of technology has been considered successfully shall be formalized. Means evidence means what? They have to write up. The write up is there, so we can say that it is done. If it is not written, it is not done. So this is the main uh, rule of the documentation. So the documented evidence related to this technology transfer has been, we can say that it is successful and formalized and stated in technology transfer summary report. We have to summarize into the report. We have to prepare the report for all these things, and it is called as the documentation. So the report should summarize the scope of the transfer, why we are going for the transfer. Then various critical parameters that obtain at SU and RU site. So they have to preferably give in the table form. And the final conclusion of the transfer, why you go for the transfer, what you got after the transfer. Then the some examples I had put here. Key tasks, number one, when we see that this project definition, so documentation provided by the SU are the project plan and the quality plan, where the separate documents or protocol or risk assessment or gap assessment is there. Then transfer documentation required is the project implementation plan, that is the TOT protocol. Then the quality agreement facility assessment. In that next document, the documentation required is that plan and layout of the facility, buildings. Then building means construction, finish, qualification status, DQ, IQ, OQ, and its reports. Then transfer document, what it should contain side by side comparison with the RU facility, the facility provided by the RU, RU's building where that RU is carried out, then gap analysis for that particular quality agreement, then it is called as the qualification protocol and report. Then health and safety assessment, documentation related to health and safety assessment. So product specific waste management plans, contingency plans are to be implemented. Then skill set analysis and training is there. Then SOPs and training documentation likewise. Then we go about this analytical method transfer, then analytical method specification, its validation protocol, including in-process quality control. When we talk about the transfer documentation, then analytical method transfer, again that protocol and reports related to that transfer documentation. When we talk about the starting material evaluation documentation, then specification and additional information on APIs. When we talk about that starting material means APIs and experience. So it's specification we have to generate, we have to document that. Then equipment selection and transfer is there. Then we have to make the inventory list of all equipment and system, including makes, model, qualification status. We have to generate a list containing the name, make, model, from where it has been purchased. Its IQ means installation qualification. Its OQ means operational qualification. PQ means performance qualification. Then its drawing, its manual, its logs, its SOP. All these document has to be provided by the SU. SU means sending unit. Sending unit will test that equipment. They perform IQ, OQ, PQ. They draw its drawing manuals. They will prepare its manual, its logbook, and its SOPs, standard operating procedure. Then transfer documentation. Apart from this, side by side comparison with the RU equipments. This equipment is provided with the available in the RU unit. So what they will compare: make, model, qualification status, then gap analysis. Gap analysis means difference between these two, whether it is acceptable, they have to make some model, some changes, or they have to reject like this. It is called as the qualification and validation protocol and reports. Then next task is the process transfer in that manufacturing and packaging. So here we can go with the reference batches, development reports, some history of critical analytic data, then rationale for specification, change control documentation, critical manufacturing process parameter, then a process validation report. A long list is there. So side by side with that transfer document, what we have to go? We have to go with the history of process development at RU, then experience at RU, then a provisional batch manufacturing document, then provisional batch packaging document, then description of process at RU, and it is called as the process validation protocol and report. And when we talk about the cleaning, so documentation provided by the SU for this cleaning are the cleaning validation, including solubility information, therapeutic doses, category, existing cleaning SOPs, validation reports, chemical and microagents use, some recovery study. Likewise, and in transfer document, product and site specific cleaning SOPs at RU, then cleaning validation protocol and report are these are the transfer document. We already discussed that IQ installation qualification, OQ operational qualification. Then the last part in this is the qualification and validation. So we already know that this qualification and validation are to be carried out as per the R risk management principles. So the extent of qualification or validation is to be performed, and it should be determined on the basis of risk management principles RMP, and it should be documented, or this qualification and qualification. Then this qualification and validation, when we document it, we can say that it is carried out, or it is having the they are giving the product with that predetermined standards or specification product or the services. Further you can refer this WHO guideline for this quality risk management.